Next week, on Thursday, Chapter 26, Barbra Streisand's Nose. Harold rolled up his trouser leg to display a wicked scar snaking up his calf. Skiing? I inquired. He shook his head. He came alive as he remembered, and his eyes sparkled. No, boating accident. He launched into a detailed narrative of some harebrained feat, then rolled up the other trouser leg and proceeded to demonstrate how one set of calf muscles was better developed than the other. We embarked on a clinical discussion about muscle development and usage until I pointed out how silly he looked in shirt and tie with his pants rolled up to the knee. We laughed. Mundane things were hilarious when I was with Harold. He straightened his trouser flaps and said, "We spent last weekend in Montreal. Gloria shopped. She bought some jeans in the new style with laces. Expensive, but very youthful." "Lace? How pretty!" I exclaimed. I imagined a bridal gown sort of lace. "No, laces, like shoelaces, going down the sides of the jeans." "Oh, the crisscross country and western look." I felt obligated to offer a compliment. "I'm sure she looks nice in them." "She's an elegant dresser." She was. I didn't have to lie. "Your toes are coordinated with your fingers," Harold observed, inspecting the coral sheen on my nails. It was finally warm enough for open-toed sandals. "They're supposed to match. Surely you know that?" I teased. He grinned. "What do I know? I'm only a man." We leapt undaunted from topic to topic. The roller coaster conversations were exhilarating, energizing. "Will you attend a public performance of the play if it ever returns to my possession?" I inquired. Harold beamed. "I'll sit in the front row and cheer." "Will you come if it's on Broadway?" I persisted. The luster left his eyes. "Of course. Wild horses wouldn't keep me away. You know that." But he might not be alive. My light went out in an instant. A glum sense of gloom seeped through me. Harold had his own droll method of dealing with the doldrums. He wiggled his eyebrows and contorted his features into a hideous caricature. A giggle escaped my throat. "You look like Popeye the Sailor Man. Olive oil's darling." "Olive oil is flat-chested," he retorted. "I know." A geyser of glee welled up within me. "I wonder why." He tried to look serious. "I'm sure the artist did it deliberately." "Why?" His lips twitched. "So all the attention would be on Popeye's bulging biceps and not on Olive Oil's bosom." My mirth erupted and spilled all over us. "Good point." Harold flashed his uneven teeth. An entire library of laughing words lurked in his eyes. How does he keep hanging on to the laughter? My glance rested on the prominent feature dominating his countenance. I was taken aback to hear myself saying, "I love your nose." "Where did that come from?" The gentle amusement in his voice mirrored the affection in mine. "Guess I'm trying to memorize everything about him." "It gives your face such character," I added. "I'm not sure how good it would look on a woman, though." He chuckled. "My eldest daughter inherited this nose. She had plastic surgery." "Good for her," I cheered. "Brave of her. She did the right thing." That must be Lisa the rebel, the one who's not coping too well with his illness. Her kids had a second man walk out of her life. She has a new boyfriend now. His words are really slurred. It's getting harder to understand him. Do you approve? A non-committal shrug. His father owns a men's fine clothing store. He'll join the business. You don't sound enthusiastic. You'll find out soon enough that children are a life sentence. I expected him to say that. You say so all the time. Because it's true. Lisa is like me. She'll be okay. It's Karen I worry about. I know. She's your baby, isn't she? The imp pranced into his eyes. Why do Jews have long noses? His words tripped on a tremor of laughter. He didn't give me a chance to reply before he quipped, because air is free. My jaw dropped. I haven't heard that one before. I was still chuckling when I enthused. I love Barbra Streisand's nose. It's her most attractive feature, I think. He agreed. Yes, she is her nose. Do you know that Barbra Streisand is Jewish? Uh-huh. I did, of course. A frown furrowed his brow. I'm worried about Karen. She hasn't been herself since her recent breakup. Remember the day you came directly from the hospital to keep our appointment? He wore old jeans and a faded sweatshirt. He looked excited, carefree, and so youthful. He paused to reminisce. She delivered her fourth child that morning. Remember what you said? I prompted. He inclined his head. Yes, I said, I'll do the operation on my son-in-law myself if the man does not take care of the business. And I said, you wouldn't dare to interfere. It's their business, not yours. Karen is frail. He looked grim. She is my baby. The son-in-law walked out. Your baby is left high and dry with 4 young children. Did I tell you about the English teacher who was accused of being anti-Semitic? Oh, for heaven's sake. I heard giggles. I think I giggled myself awake. I had been dreaming again. A concrete block descended and slammed into my heart. I had a flash of inspiration on Thursday evening. I could pop in to find out how Harold was before heading for the hospital to sit with Joe. The office would be quiet with the staff gone. The Acura was not in its usual spot in the narrow corridor by the building. I felt sick with disappointment. I hurried back home and reached for the phone. Gloria picked up after several rings. I was hesitant. Gloria, it's Selena. How is Harold? She sounded harassed and tired. We've been at the hospital all day, just got home. I'm on another call. I'll call you back. Of course. I replaced the receiver and set out on my weekly trek to the hospital. I could give my aging neighbor a break while I fed his unresponsive wife her liquid dinner. It would take my mind off things. I realized I could have used my cell phone to call Gloria. I needn't have come home to do so. My head was all over the place. Back already? David heard my footsteps in the hall and looked up from his spot on the couch. There's a message on the machine from Gloria. I picked up the phone, redialing until the busy signal ceased, and I heard her voice. Gloria? Selena, Gloria replied. She sounded quite amiable. I thought I'd surprise Harold, though he wasn't expecting me today. I was disappointed not to find him at the office. Slow down. Take a breath. You're talking too fast. He didn't tell you about the procedure? He did. I forgot about it. I decided not to go to the office anymore. Did you know? Her response was guarded. No. Why? I changed my pace. and charged nervously in like a demented bull in a china shop. I had an uncomfortable conversation with Kathy last week. Oh? The temperature dropped several degrees. I was wondering if you might like to take a break from time to time. I would love to spend an hour or two with Harold one evening a week. Turbulence, red alert, back off, idiot, back off. Gloria's voice was glacial. May I ask what the conversation was about? I told you I have been feeling uncomfortable, I began. She was wary. Yes, I remember that. I spent so much time with him, I think they might think, well, that there's been some history. I hesitated. Some hanky-panky. Really, Miss Words-a-lot, how about just stitching your lips together? Too late to bite my tongue. I galloped on. Harold asked me if I would read to him. May I come sometime? Oh, she sounded dazed. What day of the week were you thinking of? Monday evenings are good for me, I blithely replied. The feeling of foolishness abated. I felt free to breathe once more. How naive could a grown woman be? To be continued.